Namaste, Pranam. Meditation on the Bhagavad Gita. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambattvāmanusandadhāmi Bhagavad-gīte Bhavatveshinim. Oh, Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, which was included in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa. O goddess, showering the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon you. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devakim Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. O son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki. O Lord Krishna, supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Now today we take up reading of 21st Shloka, 21st verse of Karma Yoga, the third chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, third adhyay. Sri Krishna, in the previous Shloka, Sri Krishna gave that live example of Janaka and told Arjuna, I am not giving you some bookish advice. In fact, in real things like Janaka, they have attained to perfection by performing selfless karma, by performing the karma without getting attached to it. So, in order to, with the objective of guiding your own people in future, you must perform the action. You must participate in this war which has come to your lot and do your swadharma without any attachment. So now Sri Krishna tells again the importance of setting an. I mean, when he spoke about lokas sangraha, for gathering the people, for guiding the people in your kingdom, you should do all this. Now Sri Krishna also tells why that particular thing of being a guide to the people is so very important. Now Sri Krishna tells, Yadyadācharati śhreṣhṭhas evetaro janaḥ sa yat pramāṇaṁ kurute lokas anuvartate. Yat is whatsoever. Ācharati does, performs. Śhreṣhṭhas, best. Whatever the best person, whatever the leader performs, whatever the leader performs, that eva, only itaraha janaḥ, that only other people, sa yat pramāṇaṁ kurute, whatever the leader does, the followers also perform in the same way. Pramāṇaṁ kurute, they take it as a standard. Whatever leader is doing, that is the standard. Lokas anuvartate, and then taking that action which the leader, which the best among the men has performed, people take that to be a benchmark, that to be the standard, and then lokas anuvartate. Then people also start following the same path, following the same action, following the same deeds that great among them has done. That is the importance of setting a role model, of becoming a role model. You are a king. Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are a king. Like Janaka had set that particular path for his kingdom. People always thought, oh, Janaka, let us work like Janaka. And therefore Krishna says, whatever a great person does, that becomes a standard, that becomes a benchmark. And then people start following that leader. Whatever a great man does is followed by others. People go by the example he sets up. He has to set up an example for his subjects, for his people. Without being a good leader, without being a role model, how can people start following you? One has to be a role model. One has to do so much to be a role model, to give some kind of standard to the people that this is how you should do it. This is how I have done it. And people will say, oh, this is what this great person has done it. Let us also follow the same path. Let us also do it in the same way. That is how leaders show the path to followers. Being eminent with virtues is a rare gift which comes from God. It is a rare gift, being efficient. In one so imbued, godly qualities are in evidence. Such a man is viewed a model to the society. He becomes a role model. He becomes an icon. People start following him. The world feels inclined to walk in his way. The world feels inclined to walk on the path he has given to us. Why is it that people follow Jesus? Why is it that people follow Muhammad? They have shown these great, the advents of the Lord. They have shown the path. They have walked on the path. They have become the role model, which has shown the path to followers like Krishna, like Buddha, like Ramakrishna. They have shown something. Yes, we should follow that path. And let us be like them. Let us be one with the Lord. So that is why Sri Krishna tells that you should become a leader, you should become an icon, you should become a trendsetter so that people after you can follow you. His responsibility is therefore very great. Man is to society what a limb is to the body. As the action of limb affects the body, the action of a man affects the society. A great person will always be considered as a person to be followed by the society, by all the people, by all the followers. But if that person happens to be just an ordinary person, nobody will be following him. A fool, an idiot, a good for nothing person can never get any strong following. Only a person who is committed, a person who knows how to work without attachment, that person sets himself as a role model and people start following him. In public interest, a person of eminence has therefore to put forth his best. That is what Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna. That perform your best. Let people look at you with awe and say, oh, what a great leader we had in the form of Arjuna. Such a great deeds he did. Let us also do something in those qualities of Arjuna. So that is now Sri Krishna is instigating Arjuna that you have to do your duty. Don't escape. You do your duty and perform it in such a way that you become an icon, that you become a role model for all these people, for all the generations to come. Before that, you should perfect yourself. If you are not perfect, if you are not getting engaged in this Swadharma, attachment, without any attachment to what you are doing, then you become that role model. So that is effort you have to do. You should first of all, you should aim to perform your work in a non-attached manner. And do all those great deeds. And then this entire clan, this entire prasha, this entire population, they will follow you. Because they are looking for some kind of role model, whom to follow otherwise. So, this is another great teaching that Sri Krishna has given to Arjuna, that make yourself capable of getting into that position of being a role model. And then let people have some kind of a pole star to lead their path. On this particular shloka, Sri Ramakrishna's teaching, that Sri Ramakrishna has given a beautiful example of how to become without attaining something. You cannot be a role model. You have to do something. And Sri Ramakrishna gives that a very interesting example. He tells a very interesting story. Sri Ramakrishna says a person took his ailing son to a physician for medical consultation. One little boy, he was not well, so his father took him to one medical practitioner, a physician, for consultation. They came to the doctor. The man asked him to bring the boy again on the following day. He checked the boy, the patient, and then the physician told his father, "You do one thing, you better come tomorrow." So the father took his son back home. After pausing to examine the patient for a while, the man was asked him to bring the boy again on the following day. After pausing to examine the patient for a while, the healer advised the father against giving sweets to this young boy. Again, second day, then father brought back the son to physician. "Okay, you asked me to come today, so I have come today." Physician did some drama of he had already checked the patient on the previous day itself, and he knew what is the problem. So today again, he just did some drama of checking the patient, the pulse, and all that thing. And then check the eyes, and then he told his father, "Don't give sweets to this boy. He will become all right." Now, this could have been mentioned at the very first visit. Father said, "Instead of making me walk twice carrying the boy, why didn't you tell me yesterday itself? You had checked him thoroughly. You knew what is the problem. You just sent me back home, called me today. Today also you checked him in the same manner, and today you are telling me stop giving him any sweets. Don't give any sweets to him. You could have told me yesterday." The doctor smiled. The physician smiled and explained, "But then, my dear friend, then my man, there was kept here yesterday a plate of candies. My advice might have been mistaken by your son for selfishness. Yesterday, when you came here, there was very much a plate of candies, sweetmeats here on my table. And had I told you that don't give any sweets to the child, the child would have said, 'Well, look at this doctor. He has got a plate full of sweets in front of him. But me, he's telling don't eat any sweets.' So, physician said, then and there I couldn't do it. I couldn't ask you to go and hide the plate anywhere. No, therefore I told you, you come tomorrow. Therefore I told you, after you went, then that plate was removed. There was no trace of any sweetmeats in the room. So today when you came, the boy couldn't see the sweets anywhere. And then having set that as a standard, having removed all those sweetmeats from my table, now I can frankly, with authority, now I can tell you, don't give any sweets to the child. The child also will not mind. Yesterday, seeing those sweets there on my table, the child would have said, look at this fellow. This fellow himself, he is eating all the sweets. But me, he is saying no sweets for you. How can that work? So the leader who wants who is to be followed by the followers should become, first of all, he should become a role model. and then he can guide the people. Otherwise, again, like the previous slok that Sri Krishna told us, it will be like blind leading a blind. So become a role model, take that responsibility, and then people will start following you. So that was the 21st shloka, and let let us take a break here now. Tomorrow we will see that Sri Krishna is going to talk how then about responsibility of the Lord Himself. That Sri Krishna is going to tell something about Himself in this regard. Up till now, He has told Arjuna about giving the examples of Janaka, and He has told Arjuna what you should do to become a good leader, to become a role model. And then Sri Krishna is going to tell Arjuna in the 21st, 22nd verse of his own role, of Sri Krishna's own role in this entire, the work cycle, the wheel of action that he had spoken of a few shlokas earlier. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Swami.